any hair.
Well, with the series coming to an end,
Yes.
how has being on Warehouse 13 affected you as a showrunner, one, and as a person?
I think I really grew up as a showrunner on this show. You know, I learned a lot about I just learned a lot about diplomacy and being the adult and being the guy that brokers the compromises. You know, and the ombudsman and the person who has to, you know, be the dad. And it's hard. And sometimes you gotta be. It's tough being a dad. And you gotta make some tough choices. And sometimes it's great. And you know, I think I learned a lot. I think my other showrunning experiences, I was less experienced. I was more prone to, you know, being more emotional and get, you know, angry or happy, whatever the roller coaster was. I mellowed, I think, as a showrunner. And you know, also I'm old. You know, it happens when you get into your 50s too. You go, why get excited? Why get upset? It's fine. It's going to be fine. We'll do something else. You know, every once in a while I have an outburst, as you witnessed today, when I'm trying to shoot a scene and I can't get quiet on the stage and I've asked for it 3 times, then yes, I'm going to get angry.
Right.
But, you know, every once in a while you got to get angry because it's a delicate balance of fear and love.
Yeah. Has there been anything working on a show that has surprised you?
What surprised me? You know, nothing that I would say, oh my God, I've been amazed at the ability of Toronto to look like so many places. And I don't want to say surprised by Franco Dakotas because I have such tremendous respect for him as a production designer, but I would, you know, I didn't know him when I started this, and I would say that every week he surprises me with what he's able to do with what is essentially a cable budget and creating Egypt or London or Moscow or, you know, the basement of a we went to the belly of an abattoir. The sets that he can create out of nothing and recycle. One week a set will be the basement of the Vatican, another day it's the catacombs, then suddenly it's a pirate's lair underneath the Niagara Falls. I mean, he's used the same sets, and I think of anything that is surprising, it's his ability to make this show unique every week. I mean, we shoot a movie every week because it's a different set every week. Aside from what you see behind me, and sometimes Lena's, the warehouse is moving shelves. It's everything else is created by Franco, and and when I throw something at him and he does it. I throw him the mini chamber for the memory chamber where they record their memories at the warehouse, and he creates this amazing place out of nothing, and he's a genius, and I hesitate to say surprised by that, but I am always in awe of it and amazed at what he can do.
When was the first time you actually sat back and said cut and looked at it and said, I think we have something special here?
It's so hard. That one's a hard one for me because I didn't do the pilot.
Okay.
I wasn't around for the pilot. I think the first time, I think we all agree that the first time the show really gelled was episode 4 when we introduced Claudia. And partly because this family was complete then. You know, Artie had a daughter, Artie and Pete and Micah had brother. It was a family. It was clearly a family when Claudia joined. Also, we seemed to find a tenor to the show. Comedy, drama, all wrapped in one, a bunch of the, you know. So I think that episode really helped gel what the show was. And I went, oh, okay. We also went, okay, now I know what the show is. Now we know what the show is. We wandered around a little bit in the beginning with magnetism and resonance. And I don't even remember what the third one was. That was our 4th episode. Maybe that was maybe the pilot was 1, and then magnetism, resonance, and Claudia. I think that was it. And we went up and down in that first season, finding our way. But you always do, especially when you're making a show in a vacuum and it hasn't premiered yet. You know what the audience is responding to. But I know that when they shot the pilot, I know that they were very nervous until somebody did an editorial pass. I don't know who it was, and they went, "Oh, that's it. That's the show." And it's always a delicate thing, you know.
Yeah. What can fans expect from the final season of the show?
You know, I have to throw one other thing about your last question. The night I very remember specifically one night, I thought, because I had said to Sci-Fi, because all they knew was they were calling it Warehouse 13, and I thought, what if it's the 13th warehouse in a line of warehouses that have existed since Alexander the Great? And they said, oh yeah, that's cool. And we put that on. So one night I sat up here in one of my little apartments, actually the one I'm in now, I'm back in that apartment. It was 1:30 in the morning, I just started researching online. I wanted to find 12 great empires that would have housed houses before this one. And I went through and I wrote these little histories of each of these warehouses, just for myself. And I sent them to Sci-Fi. I said, what do you think? And I think that was the moment for me. I thought, I get this show. I know what the show is. This show is about history. This show is about the march of time. This show is about all of time and everything that's ever happened historical. I think that helped lead us to H.G. Wells and Paracelsus and finding great villains in the annals of history. So I think that's what I think that night may have been the moment that I said to myself, "Ooh, I get this show."
Gotcha.
So I'm sorry, your question was
what can fans expect from the new season?
Oh, from the new season or the
final season? Yes.
Final season. As I've said, I would say that these last 6 episodes are really a celebration of the show, a celebration of the characters and the series and the family. We meet some outside people, some other people come in, but it's really all about our people. I think we've written very heavily into, Claudia learning about her sister and Artie dealing with Claudia in that regard. Pete and Micah, we started an arc of Pete and Micah's relationship moving into the next level. We started off in the first episode where she discovers that he risked the entire world to try to save her life when he thought he was going to lose her to cancer. And we play that all the way through. We set up something with Steve. We even pay off Steve's Buddhism. We pay off every character's core element is paid off, I think, this year in a very satisfying and fulfilling way. And I think that's what the fans can expect. I'm hoping the fans can expect to be very satisfied and have a great roller coaster ride with us next summer.
And speaking of the fans, what would you like to say to the fans who have followed you since day one?
Oh, to that one person who's been with us since day one?
Me.
Thanks. I've always said that the fans are who make this show a hit. I mean, the fans make every show a hit or a movie a hit or a failure. It's all about the fans. I mean, and I don't write to please the fans, but unless I consider myself a fan, we create the shows and we write the stories so that we can. I take that back. What the fans will think is always in the back of our heads. I would never say I'm not going to do that story because the fans wouldn't like it if I feel it's a good story. Because I'm always, when we killed Lena, I knew that there would be a lot of fans who would be pissed about that. But fact is, we needed to kill somebody that meant something. We couldn't just have people kept coming back from the dead. Somebody has to die and it has to stay dead. But I think I would say just obviously thanks. Thank you for supporting the show because no show exists or is successful without the fans. So thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
No, thank you.